Hey, B.
Maybe what?
Look behind you.
Should I?
Yes.
My God, man, what happened to you?
Dude, you're turning a little pale.
You think? No, no jokes here. I'm out.
Welcome back to another Plasticon review. Today is combination day. Yes, it is. With Fall of Cybertron Bruticus. Yep. We got him. Let's build him up. Shall we? Let's. Here is the 5 bots. All in their vehicle mode because it's easier to transform them into limb mode and torso mode from vehicle. So, starting out, I'm going to start out with the arms first. These are Scramble City. They can become arms or legs, but I tend to use these for arms. So, we are going to start with Blast Off. Here's Blast Off. You guys remember seeing him. Very, very purple. Very, very cool. First thing we'll do, pull these off. Pull that one off. Next thing we're going to do is untab these leg bits. Try to get his leg here untabbed. Doesn't want to. Tends to happen sometimes. If you can't get it untabbed, just pull it out like this. Tabs in there pretty well on this one side. I have no idea why. The other side just pops loose. Go figure. While you're in here, you can go ahead and flip out this portion of his hand. Just like so. I'm going to do the same on the other side. Just like that. Then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to fold this entire bit up. So just like that. Both sides. I'm going to take this entire thing, spin it around. This entire thing, spin it around. We got something that looks like this. And when you do this, there's a couple ways you can do this. You can either just unpeg these portions here and connect them together via tab and hole. In the meantime, click the fists together and you have a bit of a thicker forearm. Now there are 2 different ways you can do this. You can either do it this direction or you can fold it so this portion here is flush against this. I tend to do it this way because it gives it a little more girth and it's not too bad. Looks kind of good. This also makes the arm shorter. There's a way to make it longer, and you don't really want it too long because then his arm's all the way down to his knee and it just looks weird. Face it. But anyway, depending on which side you're going to make him, there are 2 thumb portions. We're going to flip this one here out. So, that way he's got a big fist. Then, next we're going to do, take this portion here. That nice little clickety click. And bring it down all the way. That's as far as it goes. Which is fine because it kind of moves his arm out a little bit. Not too bad. But there we go. There's the first arm. Moving on, we're going to do the second arm, which I tend to use Vortex for. He is Vortex. First things first. De-weaponize. I do this just for safety precautions. I fold this in. I'll fold it back out when I actually get them in Bruticus form. Next thing you're going to do, it's got 2 pins under here. You guys remember whenever you pinned it together. Disconnect it, bring it up just that far. Now that this whole thing here does accordion out, you can bring it out all the way like this. When you do that, that's the full extent of the entire arm. I don't suggest doing this because this really makes it look weird. I mean, yeah, they're even, but in order to kill off a little bit of this extra length, just do it this way. Just separate it. That's all you gotta really do. If you really want to bring it out a little bit, you can. This still will allow it to rotate, which is nice. Now, some people want to know, well, you know, you do have 2 things in here. You got 2 options. You got either the flat hand or the gun. I tend to use the gun just because it looks cooler to me. Also, I flip these back out just like so. That way he's got that kind of sticking out on his arm, which is kind of nice. And, well, I'm going to rotate it this way because that's what direction I'm using this arm. And then fold that out. This moves kind of back and forth so that way you can get it out of the way. I mean, if you really want to get it out of the way, you can fold it all the way out like that, but it's kind of pointless. I suggest just kind of leaving it up. That way it still adds a little bit of height to Bruticus himself. But, there we go. There's the other arm. Now, let's move on to one of the legs. Let's do the more difficult one. Brawl. You can take Brawl here and remove his gun from the center. Then the next thing we're going to do are untab these 2 arm bits. Fold them all the way back. Just like so. Take his turret, spin it around, flip it up. You got this kind of a concaved area right here in the middle, and that little pin right there that you see sticking out from the bottom. It will tab right over. Sometimes it's a little difficult to do, but should tab in just like so. Right there. And the next thing you do, it's 2 little tabs here on the back. You got these 2 little slots. This entire portion right here at the back of the actual turret will fold back and allow you to tab these in. Just like so. Then, next thing you're going to do is take this portion here, flip it forward. There's 2 little portions right here. And you've also got the 2 little tabs here sticking out from the bottom of the gun. These will all tab nice into there, just like that. You can take your connector port, flip it up, and there's Brawl in foot mode, or boot, or half a leg, whatever you want to call it. Moving on. Swindle. Take Swindle, move the gun. Next thing you're going to do is, remember where I told you the 2 ports there were connects. Disconnect it from those. Then there's another indentation right there. It's kind of hard to see because it's black, but it's the other indentation opposite of that down here. But before you do that, my suggestion is to flip this portion here up. Take the connector port, it's on the back. You're going to kind of grab it up here to rotate it out. That way you don't have to try to force your fingers in there to do that. Next thing you'll do is you'll take this and plug it in, so that way it's got a bit of a angle to it. And double check these and make sure these are stuck in. Now, something I've noticed whenever you get this guy, something I should have pointed out earlier on whenever I put him in the vehicle mode. These thigh portions right here are movable. You can move them around a little bit in order to actually get these to tab in better. They do tend to move a lot, so keep that in mind. Next thing you're going to do is you're going to take these two portions here and flip them forward all the way. Kind of gives them a little more stabilization whenever you put them in foot mode. And also flip this up. Just like that. Now, something I'm going to point out since I'm on this one here is these actually do have a nice clicky rotation to them. So keep that in mind whenever you're putting these things together. They do rotate a lot. Also, whenever you're pushing them in, don't put too much stress because these are only kind of like little tabs that stretch. I don't know exactly how well this plastic's going to hold up throughout the years, so just be gentle whenever you're putting the legs and arms onto Bruticus. Although they clip on and stay on very, very well, I can see throughout the years it's going to probably break down. Anyhow, there's the other foot. Let's move on to the torso, which is also Onslaught. Take Onslaught here. Remove his gun. The next thing we're going to do is kind of stand him up like this. You're going to accordion this entire section here down. That's his entire legs and everything. It just kind of moves all the way down. So he's in that position right there. Almost as if you're going to put him into his actual robot mode. Then the next thing you're going to do, rotate this entire section all the way around. Then you're going to take this crotch piece. It's got these two tabs and it's got this little bit here. That little teeny tiny bit there will actually plug into there, and the tabs will kind of just fit around. You'll accordion it all the way up. And then get it to tab in like so. Should come up with something like that. And the next thing you're going to do is you're going to take his arms, kind of move them up out of the way. Just like that. Then you're going to take these portions here and push them all the way forward. Best way to tell where you've lined up is make sure these are all pointing straight back. Take the arms, spin them around, and you're going to plug them into these little posts on the back, which are also the headlights of the truck. The arms should fit around it. You have to kind of move things around here. Primarily get it to click into place like this, get it to all tab in. Kind of helps whenever you do that, to get it to actually fit all the way in. Then the next thing you're going to do, spin the head around. There we go. He's in torso mode. Now, something I do know that you can do is flip these up. I don't particularly like the spiky arms or shoulders like that, so I put them down. Reason being is you get enough spike hanging off from his arms. So take Swindle and put him right here. Now whenever you're pushing these in, they're very, very, very stiff. But once they go in, they go in. That's just me gently shaking it. Yeah, you can move his leg around pretty good just by doing that. It doesn't fall off. That's just a test to show you exactly how well these hold together. I'm pretty thankful for these kind of joints. They are kind of finicky getting them pushed on, but they are awesome because once he's put together, if he does fall over on your shelf, about the only thing you have to worry about is putting the gun back in the hand because his arms aren't going to fall off. His legs aren't going to fall off, unlike your G1s. So, or even your power core, because I got a lot of power core. I like power core, but trust me, they fall over, they fall apart. This isn't going to do it. Take Brawl. Brawl's a little easier to do because this is a little more accessible than this one is. So I'm going to take Vortex. Plug him in. Take Blast off. Do the same. Now, let's spin him around here. Show you guys the back of Bruticus here. There are these tabs right here and this portion right here. On the bottom of this are these tabs here and then these portions right here. It will all plug in nicely and actually hold in there pretty good. You don't really have to worry about this falling apart. Now the only thing is when you're doing this entire thing is try to line everything up as well as you possibly can before you start putting a lot of pressure on it, because you got to remember these plastics that they're using nowadays are they're not quite as brittle, but then again with a lot of force they can start stressing, so you don't want to go too crazy with that. But once you get it in position, it stays. Fills in the back very, very well, and you don't have this big hollow bit. That was one of the biggest complaints that I've seen about this thing, is always all hollow in the back. That's what that's for. Everybody's been using this thing for part of the gun because it's got these little connector points. Well, that's fine, but honestly, why? I personally think Bruticus looks better like this than that. Too many spikes. Much better. Plus I like the idea that you get a little bit of this green on here, it kind of breaks up the palette here a little bit. But I'm a bit of a stickler when it comes to that. Next thing we're going to do is take these. Everybody puts these on the end of the gun. I really don't see a point in that. That's what I do with them. Plug them into the two little hollow holes we got in the back of this. Doesn't add too much more kibble. Kind of fills him out a little bit. Gives him a little bit more depth to him. And you don't even really notice they're there. Plus it looks like he's carrying two big knives on his back, so you know if he wants to cut up Autobots, well he's got a couple, you know, smaller shanks on his back. He's Bruticus. He's allowed to do that. He's an assault bot anyway. It's not there to shake hands, he's there to destroy stuff. So then the next thing we're going to do, Swindle's gun has a hole in the end. Brawl's gun has a peg. My suggestion when you're putting these together is to be very, very delicate, because I can see this little peg here breaking off in the future if you're not careful. Put it here like that. Blast off's guns will plug into the two pegs on either side of Swindle's. Now I know this entire set is designed so that way you can go crazy nuts on however you want to build the guns. But you know what? That looks pretty menacing and I like that gun. It's a triple barrel. What more does he need than that? Plus he's also got a gun on his other arm, so why not? I'm going to take his gun and put it in his hand. And there we go. There he is with gun in hand. Not with this crazy gun with the silly sword sticking out this far so that way it looks like it drags the ground. I mean, honestly, why would you want a gun that big? Be too cumbersome to carry around. But there he is. As you can see, I'm shaking him pretty good. Nothing's falling off. Sticks together pretty well. And he looks like he's doing... It's kind of funny, but... I don't know. It's pretty awesome. I love this guy. He's got quite a bit of posability. His arms do move up and down. Everything on this thing moves pretty good. Now, when it comes to standing him up, he might be a little bit finicky, but whenever you get his legs positioned just fine, he's fine. He's not a bot that you're going to have to worry too much about. But, here he is in his ginormous combiner mode. Very awesome. Love this guy to death. One other thing before we get too far. So you guys look at the head sculpt. It's very Bruticus-y, very G1-ish. I'll show you real quick with the G1 head. By the way, I'm still trying to piece together my G1 Bruticus because I've lost a lot of parts throughout the years. So, give me time. But there's the head sculpt against the new head sculpt. A lot of similarities there. But for those who are complaining about this color palette, why are you complaining? It's not bad. But then again, I'm kind of a stickler to G2 stuff. I loved a lot of Generation 2. So, this guy's pretty awesome. Should get him in your collection. Why not? Because he's huge, and he's big, and he's Bruticus. And who does not want a Bruticus in their collection? Anyway. I'm going to do a size comparison here. Oops. You can see he's totally extended. And he's still taller. Also, of course, and why not? But anyway, this is a nice size comparison here, showing you exactly how big he is. He's a very tall bot. He's well worth the money. He's got a nice bulk, nice stance. He's a very excellent toy. There's some people who do complain about the hollowness and all that, but as far as I'm concerned, don't really complain about that, because with the way the economy is, you can't beat that. That's awesome. It's a great bot. It's worth the money. It's an awesome buy. Because I've seen a lot of people lately complain because, oh, it's too hollow or it's too small. Honestly, I think it's the perfect fit for what we need. He still towers above your not Fall of Cybertron, but War for Cybertron, Megatron. He's towers above that. Plus, we're also going to get an updated Soundwave and Blaster pretty soon, and those, as far as I know, are pretty much about the same size as these. So it's all going to fit together. It's going to look nice. Yeah, the new Prime might be a little shorter, but if you got the older Prime, then cool. And as many Optimus Primes that's been put out, why is anybody complaining? That's my question. So, this has been Plasticon. This has been another big, ginormous review of awesomeness. And stay tuned. There will be more. Oh yes, lots more coming your way. And this is me signing off. Peace out, you guys.